Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage GreenBiz Chairman and Executive Editor, Joel Makower.
All right, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, it's the home stretch. Let's have a good morning. Good morning. Not too bad. Let's do one more. Good morning. I love it. And on top of good morning, Shana Tova. It's a Jewish New Year, 5778. So for those of you who still are writing checks, make sure to change that as you go forward. Another great day. Let's turn right to Elaine Shea at Sidebar. What are you excited about today, Elaine? What's going on?
Well, I always love the last day. This is a shortened plenary today, so I'm really excited that we've jam-packed it full of really cool stuff. This afternoon is actually a VIP summit working session on urban mobility systems. So there are a lot of challenges in cities around mobility, and so today's theme is really around all of the interesting things that are happening with connected transportation and mobility services and how that interconnects with all the other verticals that we have, including energy and cities and buildings, et cetera. And then we're also kind of getting into the idea of what can we do? How can we act? When we get out of here, what are we going to do that's going to be different? How are we going to change our mindsets? How can we transform the market? So there's going to be a lot of solutions-oriented action, and we're going to hopefully end it with some really inspiring solutions from Lisa Jackson.
Great, thank you. Well, speaking of mobility and driving change, let's bring up to the stage the General Manager of Renewable Energy for General Motors for a special announcement. It's Rob Threlkeld. Rob?
Thanks, Joel.
So just this week, General Motors, made a pretty significant renewable energy announcement. Give us the gist.
Yeah, so we announced two 100-megawatt wind deals, one in Ohio and one in Illinois, that are going to power our manufacturing facilities, all of our manufacturing facilities in Ohio and Indiana. But I think some of the neat things located with that, in fact, I just got off the phone with our engineering director in Defiance, Ohio, asking about the wind farm and the fact that they can see wind farm and turbines out in the distance. And is this wind farm going to power the company there? And I said, well, no, but it's one that's just literally a stone's throw over from that one. So the excitement, I think, of how sustainability is being ingrained into our business as a whole.
So that's the what of what you did. How did you do that? What did it take? What kind of constituencies, partnerships did it take to make something like that happen?
Well, I think the key thing and a takeaway is to, as much as you externalize the story, you really need to internalize the story. It's not about going out and building a massive energy team to go do these. In fact, when I sat in front of our CFO, he says, don't make this a massive project. And it really is leveraging the internal resources that you have as a company. You've got treasury, finance, accounting, they're all experts in their field and their spaces, and it's really internalizing all the efforts that we're doing as a company and how sustainability is really ingrained into the financial components of what we do.
So General Motors have made a commitment to get to 100%. I can't remember, is there a date?
Yeah, 2050, we've made that, yep.
2050. So to get there, from here to there, and you're taking this project as an example, is it kind of just rinse and repeat? Do you just sort of replicate this elsewhere, or is it each one its own, in sort of, pardon the expression, but inventing a new wheel?
Well, it is really actually setting up a process. So I took our global manufacturing system, how you basically build an automobile, and the process and how it goes down an assembly line, into how you actually approve a contract. There's a whole process that goes through with that, and replicating that. It's almost like the conductor of an orchestra. You pull into different components of the business that need to be included at certain times so that you're really efficient in trying to get it done. So when we did our first wind announcement, it took about, or first wind PPA that we did in Mexico, was about 18 months. The most recent two 100-megawatt wind deals, which were 10 times the size of the original one, which is 30, now we're talking 200, we're done in about 4.5 months.
Wow, and so where do you go from here? What's next?
Next is basically getting to the company to 100% renewable energy, looking at our global operations. We're on a track to build about 45 of our 90 megawatts of solar on our rooftops in our China operations, and really taking that scale and moving it forward, and sharing a lot of our best practices with other companies that can do this space as well.
Is it different in China? What's the big, the special challenge there?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge in China, in our case, was working with our joint venture partners. We're all joint ventures, and getting, you really got two sides of the companies you got to approve when you get these deals types of arrangements done, and getting that type of, so you're really doing it twice, but once they do it quick, because then they scale up fast.
Okay, well, you're scaling up fast, and I think it's really exciting how you're doing it, but also your willingness to share sort of not just obviously the what, but the how and the why of what you're doing. So thank you for doing that, and congratulations on the new project.
Thanks, Joel. You bet.
Rob Threlkeld.
Thank you.